What it is, man. You came on the right day, man. You came on the right day. I'm talking about, I got one for you, man. I got one for you, man. Do I? Ace time tapping in. Share this video, man. Share this video on your Facebook. All that there. But yeah, I got one for you tonight, man. Ain't playing no games. Feel free to support. Keep the wheels rolling. What it is, it's the Trillgear.biz. So you know we gonna come real, and we gonna come trill. It's one of them, man. Straight business. Share this video. Fool with me if you cool with me. And pretty soon, man, we gonna get off into it. It don't get no realer than this. It don't get no triller than this. Know I'm talking about? Shout out to Claymaker for the dope track. But tonight, man, I've been thinking about this here, and I've been wondering, should I get off into it? You know what I mean? Wondering, should I get off into it? Should I let y'all in on it? You know what I mean? And I decided I'm going to go ahead and do it. Shout out to Zay Sanchez. Off in this thing, man. Welcome back to the Trillgear.biz. He the one helped me name this thing. But I'm gonna go off the dome and get this to y'all. So this how it started. 2005. Before 2005, y'all know all this stuff. If you don't, the history can be found. Rocking with Mama West. Heavy. 2005. I don't remember what month. But Pimp come home. 4-9 what it is. Codeine what it is. Pimp come home 2005. 2005, I get activated. I get deployed. I get put down as a soldier on the team. Didn't know was I gonna be on the team. I was putting in work with Mama West on my solo artistry. I knew he said he was gonna do some things for me, but after that, I didn't know if after he did what he said he was gonna do for me, was that a rap or what? But fortunately, it wasn't. He did what he did for me, and I still was a part of the team. JB, what it is. And I got activated. I got activated to be expanded as an artist, put in front of different audiences that it probably would have took me years to obtain. Put in positions and places and before people that it would have took me naturally years to get in those positions. And I'm very thankful for that. So from 2005 until 2007, there's a great relationship that has everything to do with two men engaging in the brotherhood. It's not just 100% one-sided. It's some back and forth. It's some lumps under the rug. But what I tried to do is make sure he and I stayed on an eye to where if we had an issue, I wanted us to get to the bottom of it so it wouldn't be no thing that lingered on and turned into something way more than what it should have been. So every time we had a bump in the road, at some point in time, he and I needed to have a conversation and get to the bottom of it and keep on moving. But throughout that 2-year journey, I got to see a whole lot. I got to see how he dealt with certain people, the people he had love for, all the people he embraced, and so many people he was working with. And I just got to see an impeccable, incredible work ethic. I got to see a lot, and I got to experience a lot. And I became attached to that lifestyle, but detached at the same time, because I knew it wasn't my blood, sweat, and tears that got us on those planes to LA, to those parties. I knew that wasn't my blood, sweat, and tears. I knew that was his. And he was just letting me come along for the ride because of the position I played. And I was thankful for that. You know what I mean? But as we all know, RIP to the King Pimp, that got cut short. That also got cut short. December 4th, 2007. Very unfortunate time. And during that time, I was mourning with Mama West. But shortly after that, the next year in 2008, in August of 2008, my biological brother died. I don't remember what month, but also in 2008, Mama West's mother died. So for a little while, we were caught in the whirlwind of mourning, funerals, planning, and still trying to be who we were to the public. Because at this time, who we were to the public was full throttle. It was full blown. Hezeleo was full blown, was birthed thanks to the Pimp and Bun and Mama West. So during this time trying to be Hezeleo of UGK Records, I'm also a human being sharing this experience with Mama, who just lost her only child and then backdoored and lost her mother. And then I lose my brother. And we go into these funerals and we trying to take time to mourn, but we really didn't have the time. I found myself being triggered and breaking down to situations that had nothing to do with those deaths, but it was my way at the time of allowing myself to have outbursts to mourn and just let that pain out. It could be one day I'm riding on the highway with my baby mama and we having a disagreement about something, but my wavelength of thinking, I am way away from what we're really talking about. I'm way over here in another world. My thought process is computing and calculating and going through a whole nother dimension while I'm being sucked in to talk about this minor issue we would have. And I remember one time, I'm fighting so hard to keep this thing going, waving a flag and keep myself afloat and keep my name, solidified out there. But I never took the time to really mourn. And all I could hear is her doing something, about this and that, about some minor stuff to do with when I'm out in clubs or when I'm out in public. Who is this girl? Who is that girl? And it just was caving in on me. And I remember, dog, I almost pulled a Shrek. I just cocked back and I hit the dashboard. Boom. Split that bitch. Cracked the dashboard. And I just, back the fuck off of me with all that dumb shit. My motherfucking brother, like I'm going through it, but I'm not expressing it. And she looked And she just was silent the whole trip because she understood then. I hate it got to that point. But like I said, in 2008, Mama West's mother passed. We go to the funeral in Louisiana. Certain few is there. UGK Posse, Bun and Red, and I think Bone. They came down. I appreciate that support, Mr. Main. Long live the legendary Pimp C, Mama West, Pops, UGK for life. Much love and respect to the entire UGK family. He always been down with Mama. Got candid conversations and interviews where he was with Mama, always talking and giving her a platform to express herself. And I know he heard that pain. I know he heard that. I appreciate that, Soup. So we went to Mama West's mother's funeral in Louisiana. And like I said, Bun and some of Rap A Lot folks was there, and UGK Posse was there, and other friends and family and her family. And we held her up. But at the time, beforehand, when we went to Pimp's viewing, I'm going back to 2007. We go to Pimp's viewing. Only select people was able to get into the viewing and see the open casket. A lot of people didn't know that it was an open casket because once the casket arrived at the Civic Center, it was closed. But there was a private viewing. And the image that's stained my brain that still haunts me to this day was, I knew him close. Like I used to be with him on a day-to-day basis sometimes. Moving around, riding around, doing this, doing that in a close proximity. I knew tattoos. I knew freckles. Like I know this guy. You know what I mean? This my homie. This is a legend. This is Pimp C. I remember the tint of his skin because Mama used to say, "You bright niggas." But I would say I'm not as bright as him, meaning the tint of my skin. I was a bit browner. He was kind of pale bright, like yellow. You know what I mean? And Mama used to say, "You bright niggas." And I'm like, I'm not bright. I'm red. You know what I mean? But I remember all that about him. But the open casket, when we viewed the body, it was very different. It was very different. I can't really explain it in detail. I'll just say this. It didn't look like him. It didn't look like him. I'll say that. It was a very disturbing image. I'm glad I was a part of the people who could go and see, but I still see it to this day. But then we went to the Civic Center and had the program and everything with the closed casket. Now, after that, when my brother died, we couldn't bury him immediately. The day he died, I was supposed to be going to a radio interview in Houston and then catch a plane to Virginia and then go to DC with my DJ for show and a Fleet DJs. Free DJ for show. Salute Fleet DJs. But the day my brother died, I felt like I'm gonna put all that on hold. Even though all the tickets was paid for, hotel room, so forth and so on, I'm like, I'm gonna put all that on hold and be here with y'all, my family. And my mama was like, don't do that. He wouldn't want you to do that. Stick with your plans. We all right. He gone. So I left. And I went and did the radio interview. I hopped on the plane, did what I did, and I came back. But when I came back, the arrangements to bury my brother had to change because we were facing adverse weather conditions. It was either a hurricane or a tornado was about to touch down, and they was telling Port Arthur to evacuate. And so the funeral home told my mama, we're gonna have to postpone, everything. And we evacuated. I left town. My family left town. But we come back and we buried my brother around mid September. He passed away around August 27th. During his funeral, it was strange. This is such a serious time. This is a funeral. But my brother had a funny personality. He's very goofy when he wanted to be. He would just make you laugh till your side bust. While everybody is there calm, trying to mourn, and his casket is open, he looks good. He looks good. They did him well. And I remember the image of his face, and we mourning, and I'm holding my little baby, and then all of a sudden, my aunt's cell phone ring, like one of them old cheap cell phones with old generic ass, loud ass ring. That bitch just, and she trying to get to that hoe is in her purse somewhere. And instead of her getting to it and immediately turning that hoe off, she get to it and answer that hoe. Hello? I'm at my nephew's. Man, people could not hold it in. The whole funeral home just bust out laughing. And then one of my kinfolk stood up and say, y'all know what? Ray wouldn't want it no other way, man. And then they started all the proceedings. That was a very memorable moment. Well, a little bit after that, around 2010-ish, I began to have these.
Power off.
I'm not going to assault the speaker today. I began to have these dreams. But before 2010-ish, Mama was telling me she was having dreams where Pimp was coming to her in her dreams. Things was happening inside the house that she couldn't explain. It happened to the point where her and Pops accepted it as Pimp's presence was in the house. I know this sound kind of spooky and it sound like, oh, this nigga just making up some shit, but anybody from the posse, if they want to share it with you, they'll tell you. She started to speak about having full conversations, acclamations, having responses and answers, having, how could I say, a supernatural experience. Other members of the posse, I would hear them speak of those also, but I wouldn't chime in like hey, a me too. I wouldn't chime in like a me too type nigga. I just would want to hear what they was talking about. But I heard it from different people out the camp. But in 2010, I began to have these dreams. And they always was in this same setting. It was like a boardroom where I was having a business meeting with executives. I can't make out who the people were, but they were in suits, ties, cherry wood, big table, and we would be sitting there discussing music industry shit and just business. And so a lot of times during those meetings, they would stump me with certain content. They would ask me my input about certain stuff and am I willing to do certain stuff? And I just didn't have the answers. So it was another room attached that I would go to think. But when I started going to that room in my dreams, it was like a small library, like a private library. It was kind of dark, but it had two lamps. It had leather, kind of like I won't say a chair, but it was like a leather, I don't know what to call it. Almost like a love seat, but small enough for one individual, but very comfortable looking, real expensive looking. Mr. Main, appreciate that, man. Real expensive looking. And it was leather. And there was two of them. It was divided by a little book looking shelf, and it had some kind of like a vase or something, like a gold looking, brass looking vase on it. And so on one side, my brother sat, and then on the other side, Pimp sat. And then behind them was a big cherry wood shelf with all kind of books. Jesus Trevino, appreciate that support. That suit, man. It was all these maroon red books with tassels. Just a very distinguished looking room, but it was dark. It wasn't pitch dark, but it was a darker room, but it had lighting in it. And Pimp would be sitting in one chair and my brother would be sitting in the other chair. And I would go in the room and I would discuss with them what I was talking about in the other room with the executives. And I'd be looking for input from them. But all I would get from them is facial expressions and head gestures. Never any sound. And that same dream, almost in that same format, I would have often. And I still would hear from different members that they were having accountancies where Pimp was visiting them in dreams. Some of them said that he spoke to them. In my dreams, honestly, I can't remember him ever saying anything to me. I can't remember my brother ever saying anything to me in these dreams. And so I had these dreams so much they started to startle me at one point. And I remember, like, soon as I would have it, I would just wake up because I didn't understand what it was about, what it was leading to. But it just kept happening for years. I had this same kind of dream all the way up until 2019. And I told my lady friend, hey, because one day I just woke up, you know what I mean? I was dreaming and I just, shot up. Because I keep going in this room, but I don't get nothing from them. And it was bothering me. And so around 2019, I relaxed in the dream. And when I went to the room, they were in there. But Mama was in there. Mama wasn't seated. She was standing. And I started talking to her. I started telling her, like, I keep trying to talk to them, but they won't tell me nothing. I be talking to them. I be asking them questions. I be laying out what I got in front of me, but they won't tell me nothing. They won't talk to me. And then she kind of put her arm on like the book cabinet and she just looked at me like, and then my own voice loudly answered me. They can't speak to you. They're dead. When that happened, it was almost like so many words was being spoken outside of they can't speak to you, they're dead. It was so many other words being spoken, not from them because they didn't say anything. They just looked at me. But I started hearing, go and live. Let go. Go live. Go. Go. I kept hearing that. But they're not saying anything to me. And so I started to ask them more questions. Hey, say, look, I'm thinking about doing this. Hey, check this out. I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do that. And then they looked at me again like, they gave me a look like, are you stupid? And then I said it to myself. I said, I'm going to go. And when I said, I'm going to go, it had much more than a meaning of, I'm going to leave out of this room. It meant I'm not coming back to this room. It meant when I leave out of this room this time, I'm gone. I'm going to go live. I'm going to go fight hard. I'm going to go achieve. I'm going to go do everything that I believe I can do. And I'm thankful for each one of y'all that's in this room. I'm thankful for mama, the things she done for me. I'm thankful that my brother was instrumental in my life to teach me to stand up for myself. Even when adversity looked overwhelming, he taught me to have this lunacism to just not care. Just to say, fuck it. Just to say, fuck it, and jump in anyway. I appreciate that suit, Scott Eric. That bravery, I don't know if it would have been instilled in me if it wasn't for my brother. Because my other brother, he didn't know to get it to me. He was busy. He was mingling with the girls. He was GQ. My mama was busy. My daddy was gone. The hood was smacking me upside my head. But my big brother instilled in me, you gonna fight back. You can, you will, you are. And he pushed me, man. He pushed me when I was afraid. Scott Eric, I appreciate that back to back. Showing them how it go. Showing them how the support go over here at the Trillgear.biz. But my brother pushed me, man. Ladoro, hey, how you doing this evening? He pushed me. He pushed me beyond my limits. He pushed me beyond my fears. And when I'm in that room saying I'm gonna go, I'm experiencing all this right now. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say goodbye to y'all, and I'm gone. Then I look at Pimp, and I look at a young man that was my age, near my age, that had did so much, that had touched so many people, who did not have to fool with me in no kind of way. He didn't have to do anything for me. He didn't owe me anything. What I did for his mother was genuine. I didn't know he was gonna come out and bless my game still in Trill 1022. I could wear this here and ain't nobody gonna say rat piss on cotton, like how he, who he, what he, no. Cause they know Pimp blessed the nigga game. He expanded me. He took me to places, got me indoors, introduced me to people that would have took me years or it would have never happened. And I was thankful. I was truly thankful. But I knew in my own mind and in my own time, People didn't know, but I was dwelling. I knew I was dwelling. But in that room, they told me in so many words, stop, go and live. And so I told them all, I'm gonna go. The words was, I'm gonna go, but the meaning meant way more. I'm gonna go, and I'm not coming back to this room again. And when I left that room, I never had that dream again. And I don't want to have that dream no more. What I want to do in the flesh is continue making them proud of me. What I want to do in the flesh is continue moving the way I moved, but bigger and better, wiser, stronger, more ambitious, with integrity, with morals and values, because this is what they instilled in me. This is what they brought out of me. Maybe I didn't even know what I had inside, because at one time, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was a slow ass bum, slow in intellect, and had no drive, no ambitions. All I was ambitious was about was to hustle up a little something, to get some 40 ounces, some dirt weed, and a few little old ratchet pieces of kagogi. And I was happy. But I started to come out of it. I started to come out of that. I started to expand. And then meeting Pimp on that level of the music he was on. Great ass content with a 1999 suit. Hey man, I really appreciate that. That helped me keep the wheels greased to bring y'all this great content. You know what I mean? Maybe one day others will understand and they will come through and fool with me because they cool with me. Like Scott Eric, man. Appreciate that soup. But after I met Pimp, that expanded me even more. Because what I thought I wanted to do, what I was dreaming, what I was envisioning, it manifests. It manifests. I saw in my mind rapping to a plethora, a sea of people. It's before Pimp came home. I saw in my mind so many people that it had to be an arena. And I didn't know where it was. I didn't know where it was or what it was about. Exactly, Zay. And then it happened. Put some gas in the Trill made back. No, I'm talking about $49.99 from Scott Eric, man. Hey, man, I appreciate the love, man, and the continued support. I appreciate the love and the outstanding continued support. But I saw this vision. I didn't know when, where, how, or what, but I saw it. I saw it so clearly I could touch it. And one day, right before Pimp came home, me and Hard Time was at a car show. We was on the second main stage. Trader Truth was rapping on top of a Rap-A-Lot. Looked like a big old, I don't even know what to call it. Bigger than a Sprinter, almost like a UPS wrapped van. Big, not van, cargo truck. Trader Truth was rapping on top of that hoe. We about to open for Power Wall. And the main stage, Slim Thug was just getting off it. They shut the main stage down. They was having an intermission on the main stage. On the second stage, we had a few hundred people. Jesus Trevino jumping in there like a real soldier with that suit. Appreciate you, brother. On the second stage, we had a few hundred people. But all of a sudden, I remember that vision clear. That vision just came right back before my eyes. And everybody from the main stage, this was in H-Town. Hotel, what it is. This was in H-Town. Everybody from that main stage started migrating to the second main stage. And before you know it, that huge plethora of a crowd that I saw in my vision formed right in front of my motherfucking eyes. It spooked the shit out of me because I just saw that vision. But it gave me an energy, and I started owning the stage. I started walking around with my chest poked out and my head held up, commanding, say, what's up, man? H-Time, I'm talking about fucking crowd screaming, going crazy. Then the goddamn sound system overheated and shut the fuck off. But it was one mic still hot. It was one mic still hot. Big Bank Hank was on stage, Horseman Production, Paul Wall. I think I don't want to say Michael Watts, but it was a notable DJ in the back. I think it was High C. And everything shut off but this one fucking mic. And guess who had that mic? Guess who had that one hot mic? I did. The one mic that was still tied in, that was still audible, I had it, and that bitch was hot. That bitch was loud. And I knew this crowd came to see something. This crowd came to see something. Everybody else on stage acting like, which way did he go? Oh, I don't know what to do. But I got the hot mic. So I told the crowd, I say, make some more motherfucking noise. Say, man, them boys out here ain't the only one can freestyle. Y'all want to hear freestyle a cappella? Oh, yeah. Oh. But in my peripheral, I see niggas talking about, I see niggas in my peripheral behind me on stage. I get ready to freestyle. Nigga pulled the card on the mic. Nigga pulled the card on the mic. Didn't you open for Big Mo when he came to PA? Nah, I opened for Big Mo multiple times. I got footage of opening for Big Mo in Lake Charles. I've opened for Big Mo at Festival City in Lake Charles, Beaumont, Houston. Hey, I've opened for Big Mo multiple times. Him and Tight Eyes. But they pulled the plug and I shot through the roof. When I came off stage, I told Hard Time, I say, it's over. I'm going home. I'm gonna get a job. And I'm not jumping back out here until Pimp come home. That's exactly what I did. But check this out. Once Pimp came home, we saw those type of crowds often. We did the clubs that hold 800,000-900,000 people, 500, 300. But them big car shows, been on stage multiple times, been in arenas multiple times. It's not what you could expect. You couldn't imagine it. You couldn't imagine it unless you've been in that position on that stage looking at all those people. and you, hey, it's no way, it's no way. What I used to think, I'm gonna connect with everybody, I'm gonna look them all in their eyes. That's when I'm doing small events. Yeah, I'm gonna look everybody in their eyes. I'm gonna connect with everybody. I'm gonna throw them a t-shirt. Nigga, when that shit started expanding and we in motherfucking whole arenas, you got levels of people up here, down here, you know what I mean? And shit, nigga, you better just do your best to get your funky ass up off that stage and let the real motherfucking headliners come through. Cause shit, nigga, you look out there, nigga, that shit don't even look real. All them goddamn people and everybody just looking at your motherfucking ass like, we don't know you. You got a few people saying, hey, that nigga jam. You got a few people throwing their hands up. But then you got a whole bunch of motherfuckers look like owls. Nigga just look like a bunch of owls. Big old eyes just, who the fuck is you? You know what I mean? But very thankful to have been in that position. And I've thought about this for some days now. And I say, you know what? I'm gonna share that with the Trillcast. I said, I'm gonna share that with the Trillcast. Let me see what we got right here. Let's be real. What rapper today touching Bun and Pimp? Maybe Wayne. They was in the league of their own, man. They in the league of their own, man. They the rappers' favorite rappers. They the rappers' favorite rappers. That's the only rappers that can rap to rappers. And I didn't like that rappers rapping to rappers, but they are the rappers that can rap to rappers. You know what I mean? But yeah, okay, let's see what we got here. Bro, 17 said Pimp used to wear fake jewelry. I know that's a damn lie. I ain't never had no diamond tester to be putting it on Pimp jewelry, but I'll tell you this. I don't know that to be true. But I know that Pimp gave me a bag with $200 and some $1,000 worth of jewelry. Hey, let's not disinfect this video about what 17 doing or not doing. Catch me on a video when I'm on 17 head, then we can do all that. But we ain't gonna disinfect this video with no, 17 this, that. 17 is 17. He do what he do. He was close knit to Pimp. They had a relationship. They had times when I didn't see. You know what I mean? But I remember when Pimp gave me, and I'm gonna close with this because I don't want to get too far off from this story because I want you to listen to what I just said in this video. But we were going to a show in Lafayette, and I had been fucking off doing what I do, making my little rounds, and I come to check in like, what's the play? What we finna do? And Pimp like, man, I need this jury to go over there to Emmett, Exotic Diamonds. I need the jury to go over there and this and that, this and that. And I'm like, ain't we going south to the show? He like, we doing that too, nigga. So I say, we going to Houston to Emmett and get your diamonds replaced and get your jewelry clean. Then we coming back and going to Louisiana for the show. He say, no, nigga, I'm going to Louisiana for the show and you taking this bag of jewelry. You taking this bag of jewelry to Houston, then you coming back, then you coming to Louisiana. I'm like, you mother nigga, what the, you know what I mean? That nigga was making a truck driver out of me in my Cadillac, my nigga. Listen, I was either in this little Benz or this Cadillac. I think I may have been in my Cadillac. I think I was in my Cadillac. And so that nigga say, yeah, you doing that. And I'm like, damn. So I'm like, if that's the play, shoot that shit to me and let me go on by my business. And nigga say, look here, nigga. It's $200,000 worth of motherfucking jewelry in that bag, nigga. But I trust you, nigga. And that nigga hand me that heavy ass bag of platinum and diamonds. And I ain't even gonna bullshit you. Nigga, I did not look in that bag until I gave it to them boys at Exotic Diamonds. And he pulled everything out and sorted it out. And I said, Pimp said this is $200,000 some dollars worth of jewelry. Dude say, yeah, easy. And it hit me. I say, damn. This nigga fuck with me like that? Why he send me on some shit like that? But I became Fort Knox. I started thinking, should I put my pistol in my pocket? Should I put my pistol in my back pocket? Should I just hold my pistol under my shirt? But nobody know I got this shit. You know what I mean? So really, I need to calm down. I really need to calm the fuck down. And so there was I think a Whataburger or something, a couple of parking lots away from Exotic Diamonds, maybe like one parking lot over. It's a burger joint. So I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get me a burger right now, you know what I mean? Kill some time, then come back. But when I walk outside, I see the bright-skinned nigga, Trill, from Trill Entertainment. What's his name? Turk. I see Turk. And we had just went to his studio in Baton Rouge. We had just went to their studio and ate dinner with Mel, I think him, and another one. Yeah, Turk. We had just went to the studio and fucked with Fox, and Pimp jumped on I think Wipe Me Down remix. And we just hanging out, fucking around, kicking it with Fox. So I seen Turk outside the Diamond joint, and we chopped it up. He like, yeah, nigga, I remember you, this and that, boom, boom, boom. We like, what you doing? I'm like, we got a show in Lafayette somewhere, but Pimp wanted me to come get some shit done. And then he started telling me some shit, making me laugh about him and Pimp on some shit. And then I grabbed the shit and shot back through, passed through PA, kept going and met up with my nigga. But I had to ask him again. I said, my nigga, why did you send me with all that goddamn jewelry? And nigga say, nigga, cause I know you wasn't gonna come back with no fucked up story about you lost it or you got robbed or I knew you wasn't gonna do no shit like that, nigga. Nigga, I trust you. Regardless of what the future holds, this shit is etched in stone. This shit cannot be denied, cannot be erased. It may be overlooked. It may be overlooked. It may be ignored. But it cannot be denied. Too motherfucking real. And I appreciate all y'all for still rocking with me and showing up and showing out. And I appreciate the UGK posse, the UGK record family for accepting me, giving me my position, Pimp quoting me in, Mama loving me and quoting me in, Bun putting me in positions, because without any endorsement, without any industry connection, a nigga still striving. Know I'm talking about? Long live the Pimp and Mama West. In the flesh, free young Pimp. I'm out.